Sims update is causing a little bit of havoc for everyone in the Sims community. Obviously, I've already spoken in depth about the family trees and how they are looking and how sometimes they can be questionable at best. I also know that there's an issue going on with stair railings and how they just don't exist in like anyone's game. I imagine that they're gonna retroactively fix that in the next update, or at least that is my hope, and that the stair railings will just come back to normal once they actually do figure out the issue that's going on there. But today I'm going to be focusing on an issue that I have noticed within Create a Sim, and it is of course driven by them changing the tags for certain hairstyles. So we all noticed during the last patch the Afro-Textured tag actually got removed by the game, or more so it got replaced by a curly tag, and that has kind of had a knock-on effect because even though they've added Afro-Textured back in, that is now a brand new category, which in the grand scheme of things, yes, this is a good thing. Like, I'm glad that Afro-Textured is finally gonna be more accurate, and obviously hairstyles, diversity, inclusion have come a long way from when The Sims 4 started back in 2014, hence why they needed more tags. However, I wish they hadn't replaced the Afro-Textured tag that we did have with curly, because now it turns out that none of my custom content, specifically my Afro-Textured custom content, is now in the curly category rather than the Afro-Textured category. Personally, in my eyes, I think it would have been easier just to keep the Afro-Textured and curly together and keep that as Afro-Textured, then add in curly and move over the EA official ones, because then we could have just taken our curly hairs, which, to be fair, a lot of them were probably already categorized into wavy, and really that's not going to make too much of a difference. And I feel like it would have been an easier job. Very first thing that you're going to need to do, if you don't already own this, you should go download Sims 4 Studio. Now, this is a program that custom content can be made on, tagged on, all of that. Nixtress Games is really, really helpful when it comes to batch fixes. I, as you can tell, have watched just like a couple of these videos just to get an idea of what the program can do. I will link Nix's channel and also some helpful videos so you can learn more about like batch fixing, ordering your custom content in your game if that makes it easier for you. Now, I will say your antivirus could potentially flag this. It is safe to run, but they do have instructions on how to actually allow it. It's just because it's like modifying folders, and sometimes your antivirus will flag that. You want to download the open beta version. That is the most recent version. Once you've downloaded it, you do need to input a creator name, and then you can hit my CC. Now, it probably will take a little while for this to load up for you if it is your first time running it. I actually have my mods folder pretty organized. One of my incredible moderators over on Twitch did this for me years ago and spent so much time going through all of this, and I am happy to say I have kept up to date on it all. So I do have everything categorized really, really easily. If you don't have it categorized like this, it may be harder for you. If you just have a long list of like every single package file you've ever downloaded, that is going to be way more difficult. So I would say maybe try and get on top of your organization of your mods and custom content. I find this is one of the easiest ways that you can go about it. But obviously, what we're going to be focusing on today is hair, female hairs, and then hair, male hairs. Now, eventually, they might come up with a batch fix for this. They might have something that you can do automatically, but I'm going to show you how hopefully I'm going to go about this. I'm probably not going to do it straight away. I will probably hold off and see if like creators have a way of doing this and kind of re-uploading all of their files to be Afro-textured. I know it happened with some creators when we got some of the new swatches included, and they kind of went back and updated all their old hairstyles to have the new swatches. So maybe if you don't want to like dedicate hours and hours of your life to this, just to have a creator maybe come out and say like, hey, I updated all of these for you, maybe hold off. But if you do want to spend some time, if you've maybe not got too much custom content and you're like, oh, I don't mind doing this. So as you can see, this is an Afro textured hair right here. And if you scroll down on the right hand side, here we have the hair texture category. We're actually gonna untick this curly hair texture and we are gonna click Afro textured. Most important thing that you need to do is apply to all swatches. Are you sure you want to apply hair texture to all swatches? I'm actually gonna say don't show this message again, because yes, I don't just want it on the first black swatch. I want it to apply to every single color swatch that we have. So I am going to confirm and say yes, hair texture applied to all swatches. Okay, and I'm gonna keep that one up for now. So we've applied to all swatches. Again, I'm just gonna do it for a second time just so that I know it is correct. And then I'm gonna hit save. I probably should have given the disclaimer before messing around with custom content and tagging and all of that. Just back up your mods folder, back up your Sims folder in general. Either put that onto your desktop, but be aware if your computer ever sharts itself, that does mean that that's going to be wiped out. Safest option is obviously always either on a USB, if you can fit it on a USB, or a hard drive. In this day and age, buy yourself a decent terabyte hard drive. I know they can be expensive, but trust me, it's gonna save your ass if your computer ever decides to do anything funky. Annoyingly, you can't like shift click and choose all of these. You are gonna have to go through individually, which is why I say it is gonna take you quite a long time. Maybe this is the reason you should potentially hold off to see if creators do this, but unless creators have a workaround that they know about because they've been working with this program for so long, it's also going to take them a really, really long time. So I don't know if that will actually come. One thing I will say, because I have some of them as merged folders, I think this would apply to all of them, but I found for my merged folders, obviously these are all the individual ones, you can actually shift click and include all of these. That one is an accessory, so obviously that's not giving it. However, this one is a hair. So we're gonna miss everyone but the top one. Okay, there we go. Now it has come up. You can see the hair texture. Before it was just like focused on the actual material. Again, we're gonna untick curly. We're gonna apply Afro textured to all, and then we are going to save that. Your package has been saved. That's the way I've been doing it for package files. And then I guess just to show you that this is actually working within my own game, I'm gonna load up my Sims 4 and we're gonna quickly hop into Create Sim. Just make sure you then shut down your game again before you start messing back in Sims 4 Studio, because having the game open whilst you're messing with backend files isn't the smartest decision. That's why I also say you should also just back everything up before you start messing with the files, because you never know what could potentially go wrong. Unfortunately for me, that was only like 6 hairs from the feminine category. I haven't even opened up my masculine category yet. That just goes to show how long this is gonna take. But if we go to Afro textured now, obviously we have all of the EA ones, but if we scroll down, we actually have a lot of Shea Butters. So Shea Butter is the creator with those merge files. When I recorded my video the other day on the update, I had absolutely none of these. This was one that I did slightly earlier just to test out that it was all working so that I could record this video. And unfortunately, if we go to curly, you can still see that there are a bunch that definitely need reclassifying. So Sims 4 Studio retagging definitely does work, but it is going to be a major time-consuming endeavor. I don't think EA are going to particularly roll this back. I can't imagine that in the next update they'll like see this and be like, oh wait, maybe we should have left curly as Afro textured and then added curly. I just don't see that happening. If you do do want to hold off to maybe see if they do roll it back in the sense of flipping those two around, or until potentially there's a batch fix within Sims 4 Studio. Again, I don't really know if that's going to happen, or just to see if creators maybe are going to be fussed by this and will update their tags. But again, that is a massive endeavor for those custom content creators, so I'm not expecting someone to sit through it and do it unless they know a different way to go about this. If you are a pro and you maybe know an easier way of doing this, I would definitely like to hear it. But for right now, this is what's working for me. I mean, I have a couple of hours here or there to kill. I don't think I'm gonna go the whole way just in case they do decide to revert anything. Imagine I sat and did this for hours and then next update EA were like, oh, actually we're gonna turn Afro-Textured back into curly, and then we're gonna turn curly into Afro-Textured, and I had spent my whole time moving everything over. I think that would be my last straw. I think I would quit the game, never to return. That will be crash out of the century. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.